The world of Pokemon, where every species is different. They each possess different power and moves, and most of them even have different abilities. These abilities define many Pokemon, and for some, can even make or break a Pokemon. What's going on, guys? It's Reefslang back here, and today I'm bringing you my list of what I think are the top 10 best abilities in Pokemon. Before we get started though, I just wanted to set a few ground rules. I'm not going to be including any Pokemon exclusive abilities, since that would probably take up a list on its own. But with that out of the way, let's get to the actual top 10 list. Number 10. Intimidate. When I was first making this list, I wasn't actually too sure which ability should make the cut and secure the bottom spot on this list. In the end, I decided to go with Intimidate. As most of you probably know, Intimidate is an ability that lowers the physical attack stat of the opponent's Pokemon by one stage whenever you switch in. It works great in singles, and in doubles lowers the attack stat of both opposing Pokemon. Since most of the offensive Pokemon used competitively are physical attackers, this is a great way to wall them out, especially since many Intimidate users are very powerful Pokemon, such as Salamence, Gyarados, and Arcanine. Because of its reliability, I chose Intimidate for the bottom spot on this list. Number 9. Serene Grace. Now you're probably wondering why a luck-based ability is on your screen. The reason is simply because of how broken this ability is. For those of you who don't know, Serene Grace doubles the chance for the side effects of moves to occur, such as the chance to burn with Flamethrower or paralyze with Thunderbolt. Doesn't seem so bad, right? Well, let's throw in a move like Air Slash or Rock Slide, which have a 30% chance to make the opponent flinch. Since Serene Grace doubles the chance of a side effect occurring, there's now a 60% chance of your opponent flinching. Let me reiterate that. There is a higher chance that your opponent doesn't move for the entire turn than for them to actually get a move off. If anyone remembers back in the 4th and 5th generation, the competitive nightmare that was Jirachi, then you already know where I'm going with this. Seriously, this Pokemon could give Darkrai a run for its money. The strategy is a bit complex, so bear with me. Spam Iron Head until your opponent is dead! This is granted, of course, that you outspeed your opponent. And if you don't, just hit him with a Thunder Wave to half their speed, problem solved. And now they have to deal with an additional 25% chance that they get fully paralyzed, as well as a 60% chance that they get flinched. And don't worry, this strategy isn't exclusive to mythical Pokemon like Jirachi or Shaman, and it definitely hasn't gone away. And flinching is only one strategy used with Serene Grace. Lowering your opponent's stats and raising your own is another alternative, and you can even skill swap it with an ally in doubles if you have some kind of unique strategy. Number 8. Storm Drain, Sap Sipper, Lightning Rod, Water Absorb, Flash Fire, Levitate, Motor Drive, Volt Absorb. Since there are multiple abilities under this category, I'm going to cheat and give this spot to the abilities that give immunities. Now before anyone calls me basic, I just want to make a point, so hear me out. Number 7. Skill Link. This is a perfect example of an ability that has a very niche role but can be absolutely devastating. All Skill Link does is make it so that moves that hit multiple times always hit 5 times, which is the maximum. So what makes this ability so good? Well, let's do some math. Most multi-hitting moves like Bullet Seed, Tail Slap, Rock Blast, and Icicle Spear have a base power of 25. So 25 times 5 hits is 125 base power per attack. Now, if this attack gains stab or same type attack bonus, it will do 50% more damage and will have a base power of 188. If it hits for super effective damage, it will have 250 power. If it hits for super effective while it's stab, then it will have a whopping 375 power. And generally, the Skill Link Pokemon will have access to multiple multi-hitting moves. For example, Chinchino gets access to Tail Slap for stab, and both Rock Blast and Bullet Seed for coverage. Also, some Skill Link Pokemon can set up and sweep an entire team, like Cloyster. Cloyster gets access to Shell Smash, which it can use to increase its attack, special attack, and speed by 2 stages each, and then proceed to KO everything with a Stab, Icicle Spear, or Rock Blast for coverage. The nice thing about using Skill Link moves is that they break Sturdy or Focus Sash in the process. Also, if the Pokemon is holding a King's Rock, there is a 10% chance that the opponent will flinch for every hit, capping at around 40%. So even if your opponent survives a hit from you, there is a very good chance that they won't even be able to retaliate and will end up going down anyways. In this case, the ability tends to define what stats and moves the Pokemon will obtain. So if the Skill Link Pokemon has a high base attack and speed, as well as access to different multi-hitting moves, it can really become a top class sweeper. Number 6. Moxie. This ability revolves around a simple idea. Every time you knock out a Pokemon, your attack stat is raised by 1 stage. Think of it like a kill streak reward. Knock out a Pokemon, gain +1 attack. Kill the next Pokemon more easily, get stronger. Kill something else, get even stronger. You get the picture. This is best used when your opponent's team has been weakened, so you can bring in your Moxie Pokemon to gain some easy stats and clean up late game. Pretty much, if your opponent doesn't outspeed you and KO you, then you can easily knock them out and basically sweep your opponent's entire team. Number 5. Protean. Ever wonder why Greninja is so damn good? Oh, you already know? Well, this is your answer anyways. Basically, every time you use a move, Protean lets you turn into that move's corresponding type. For example, if a Protean Pokemon like Greninja uses Ice Beam, it will change from a Water Dark type to a pure Ice type. This allows you to gain stab on all your attacks, which is ideal on a sweeper like Greninja. It can also be used defensively too. If you predict your opponent to go for a super effective hit, you can use a move that changes your type to resist the opponent's attack. Protean also works with status moves. So far, the only Pokemon to obtain this ability are the Greninja line and Kecleon. Greninja is known for using this ability, along with its wide move pool and high special attack and speed, to land attacks that always gain stab, and oftentimes hit for super effective as well. Meanwhile, Kecleon has skill swap, so it can give Protean to any Pokemon it wants. Have fun in doubles. Number 4. Huge Power and Pure Power. These two are essentially the same ability since they both double your physical attack stat. That's it, nothing else to it. Except that this ability is absolutely terrifying. The Pokemon that are fortunate enough to get Huge Power are the Azumarill line and Mega Mawile, while the Medicham line gets Pure Power. Azumarill can max out its attack with Belly Drum and then proceed to sweep the opponent's team with a priority Aqua Jet, without even giving the opponent's Pokemon a chance to attack. At level 100, a standard Jolly Mega Medicham, with max EVs and physical attack, has an attack stat of 598, so even without setup, Medicham can pretty much one-hit KO everything with a high jump kick. And Mawile? Well, at level 100, an Adamant Mega Mawile, with max EVs and attack, has an attack stat of 678, and that's before even setting up. After one Swords Dance, Mega Mawile will have an attack stat of 1,356. Like I said, not much to it, except that it's absolutely terrifying. Number 3. Drought, Drizzle, Sandstorm, and Snow Warning. Basically all the weather-inducing abilities. Setting up weather can give your team the upper edge when you utilize attacks and abilities and take advantage of the weather. For example, in the rain, water-type attacks have their power increased by 50%, while fire-type moves do 50% less damage, and the moves Thunder and Hurricane never miss. Many Pokemon also have weather-related abilities. For example, a Pokemon with Swift Swim will have its speed doubled in the rain, while a Pokemon with Rain Dish will have 1/16 of its health restored at the end of every turn. So then, what's the big deal with these abilities? Why not just set up weather with a move manually? Well, a few things. First of all, setting up weather manually runs the risk of your weather inducer going down before you can set it up. Secondly, this opens a free move slot for your Pokemon. And finally, it allows you to start the battle with the weather and its effects already in play. And as we've seen in VGC 2016, weather can be crucial. There's a reason why every team either ran a Primal Groudon or Kyogre, and there's a reason why the competition that year was dubbed Weather Wars. And in the 7th generation, this is no exception. We're already seeing the rise of terrains, so it won't be long before weather and terrain teams come together and synergize to form very powerful teams. Overall, weather just adds creativity to a battle, it's just fun to use, and enables you to tap into certain Pokemon's full potential, so being able to automatically set it up is definitely a plus. Number 2. Prankster. When I first started making the list for this video, this was the first ability that came to mind. In fact, it's the reason why I made this video to begin with, so naturally you'd expect to find it high up on the list, and for good reason too. Prankster is an ability that gives priority to all status moves a Pokemon uses. Now, while this might seem relatively innocent, let's take a look at some common scenarios. Your opponent brings out a physical attacker against your Prankster Pokemon. What do? Burn them with Will-O-Wisp before they can even attack. Okay, what about a fast sweeper? Paralyze it so now it's slow and vulnerable. What about another status user, like a defensive tank? Taunt them before they can even set up or do anything. I don't care how fast the opponent is. If they don't use priority and naturally outspeed you, you're gonna go first and you're gonna land that annoying status move that completely breaks their Pokemon. Oh, and you can also use this defensively, to set up stats or screens, heal yourself or an ally, or even lower your opponent's stats. The other benefit is that Prankster Pokemon are generally supportive defensive walls, so having a guaranteed first hit before your opponent allows you to invest more in this Pokemon's HP and defenses. The only real drawback to this ability is the nerf, or nerfs I should say, of the 7th generation towards this ability. Thunder Wave now only has 90 accuracy, and Paralysis only halves the opponent's speed instead of reducing it to 1/4. A confused Pokemon only has a 1 in 3 chance of hurting itself in confusion instead of a 50% chance. Burn now only does 1/16 of the opponent's health at the end of every turn instead of 1/8. And finally, Prankster does not activate against Dark types. Even so, I still find Prankster to be a very overpowered ability. There is one more ability, however, that just barely outdid this one for the number 1 spot, and might just be the most overpowered ability in the entire game. And the number one best ability in Pokemon in my opinion is Magic Bounce. Where do I even start? For those of you who don't know, Magic Bounce is an ability that completely walls out opposing status. Like, completely. How come? Basically, the Magic Bounce Pokemon takes a status move that was aimed for it and throws it back at you. For example, if you try to use Toxic to poison your opponent, the Pokemon would block the move and then proceed to poison you with your very own Toxic, all the while still not having used its turn yet. Thunder Wave? Great, now you're paralyzed. Will-O-Wisp? I really hope that wasn't your physical attacker. Entry hazards? Deflected right back at you. This basically means that the Pokemon can safely set up without any worries about gaining status, as you're only able to attack it directly. Oh, and don't even think about trying to lower its stats, because you'll just end up lowering your own. The only way to status them is to use an attack that has a side effect, like getting a burn with Scald, or defense drop with Crunch. Either that or get a critical hit, which sometimes isn't enough anyways. Well, I'm out of ideas. Anyone got a solution to this mess? Anyone? So a few of you clever battlers might be thinking, oh, not a big deal, I'll just taunt them to prevent them from setting up. Well, guess what? You just played yourself. Yep, that's right, even taunt, ladies and gentlemen. Even taunt gets deflected. What's with this ability? You can't use status, lower their stats, set up entry hazards, or even taunt them. Like, what good is a prankster Pokemon if it can't do jack shit? Like, what can I do? Oh wait, at least we got Leech Seed. Damn it, no, that's it, I can't be asked. I'm out, that's it, I'm out. And that, everyone, was my top 10 best Pokemon abilities. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing on this channel, as it helps me out a lot. And if you'd like to see me make a video on the top 10 worst Pokemon abilities, or the top 10 best exclusive abilities, feel free to leave a comment down below. But that's about it, so I hope you enjoyed. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.